Prejudging was held earlier this afternoon with nearly 2 hours of just comparisons. But with over 20 ace pros to evaluate in one lineup, decisions from the qualified judges took a lot of time and patience. Let's take a few minutes to see some of the action.
Front lat spread, please. Okay, relax. Side chest. Turn to the side chest, please. Way back. All right. Relax. Rear lat spread. Triceps, please. Robbie Robinson. Okay. Side chest. Right arches. All right, gentlemen. All together.
It seemed as if Mike Ashley, Gary Strydom, Shane DeMora, Bertil Fox, Tom Terwilliger, John Hnatyshack, and Ron Love were called up more often than others. However, Robbie Robinson, Roy Callender, and Scott Wilson were not to be ignored either.
Relax. Abdominals and thighs.
After a long and torturous prejudging, we were anxious to see what some of these massive creatures had to say about the show, their physical condition, preparations, and bodybuilding objectives. First was New York's own Tom Terwilliger with our reporter, Tanya Knight.
You look great. How do you feel you look as compared to at the Nationals?
Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And, well, I think I've made a lot of improvements. I knew that I would have to put on a little more muscle and a little more thickness before making my pro debut, because winning the Nationals or winning a weight class at the Nationals is just a milestone, a stepping stone compared to competing as a pro, and I needed a lot of improvement. I think I've made the improvement over the last 6 months.
While I was looking for you to do this interview with you, I noticed there was a guy that looks just like you. That's your brother. He's
yes.
a bodybuilder also, right?
Right.
And you're on the pro level, and he just competes locally?
He's competed in one show so far, in which he's done very well. He won, and he's planning on competing in the near future, possibly Eastern America or some regional show, on his way up to competing in on the national level. In fact, here he is right here. He might want to give us a smile. Come on over and smile for the camera.
Come on over here and
Come here. That's right. That's my brother.
Identical.
How you doing? And he'll be competing against me soon.
I'm proud of
Now
you.
get out of here, will
Very
you?
proud.
Does this make things rough in the family with your brother being a bodybuilder also?
Well, actually it does, and I'll tell you how. Because for a while there, I had food in the refrigerator that was safe. My eggs, my chicken, my fish was all safe for a while he was eating ice cream and red meat. But now it's not safe anymore. I go to the refrigerator, reach for my fish, and it's gone. He's eating better and eating my food. So it's a little dangerous.
Well, you look great today, and good luck to you. I'm going to let you go get some food in your stomach,
Very
and
good.
thanks for taking this time out.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
But Mr. Personality himself, Gary Strydom, seemed to glow with confidence and just couldn't wait to get back on stage tonight. Do you wonder why?
How do you feel you did today, Gary?
Well, basically, I think I did everything in my power to do as well as I could possibly do, and I feel really confident right now that that everything that I did has worked, and that I really looked fantastic. I had the stage presence, I had tremendous symmetry and muscularity, and now it's in the judges' hands. It's a matter of opinion on what type of physique they really like. At this level, there's so many great champions up there. Everybody should be a winner, and I think everybody should go home feeling like they're a winner, because when you really think about it, basically all these people here, all these competitors are either universe winners, national winners. They've won major titles, amateur titles, pro titles, and there's no really winning and losing, but when it comes to handing out first, second, third, fourth, fifth, it's just a matter of opinion, and I feel very, very confident that my physique is appealing and feel good.
You're quite a bit larger than you were last year at the Nationals. What did you do differently to put on so much size?
Well, what I did differently, I think, was I had a whole different plan of attack. For every show, I think you need to have a plan of attack. You need to think out how you can improve, because you need to improve from show to show. That's very important. The judges need to see that change. And my improvement, I think, basically has been just the right nutrition, the right training. I think I did too much aerobics, which burned up too much muscle. And a lot of guys get caught up with this aerobics phobia, that they feel they need to do a lot of aerobics to burn body fat. But if you train right and you train hard, you burn body fat training. So even in an anaerobic movement, which weight training is, and which we use as building our muscles, we use anaerobic movements. We can burn body fat if we train at a different intensity, as opposed to the old scenario of training slowly and getting doing a set, having a 3-minute chat with somebody else in between sets. So that's what I think I can really contribute my great weight gain from the Nationals to this show, and correct nutrition too. Nutrition is very important, and that's basically it.
I also understand that you just moved to California. Do you think that helps your bodybuilding career?
Yeah, I would like to add, I moved with my beautiful wife to California. She's over there, and I'd like to say that without her, I think this has been, I think they should give her the trophy tonight. Yeah. It's a team effort, and the same with the Nationals, and along with this show, we've had a tremendous last few months. I mean, we're so happy in California. We're happy we're alive. I love bodybuilding. I love everyone, and I'm having a great time. That's basically it.
You were telling me backstage that you travel a lot. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how your wife, you were telling me how she helps you out so much. Why don't you tell me a little bit of what she does, so, you know, other women that have men in the sport can understand how understanding a woman has to be.
Okay, this is very intense, because we have basically been focused on this one thing for the last 9 months. I've been dieting for 9 months, so you can understand. Elise has been cooking. She cooked every single meal for me, and there was up to 35 egg whites and 12 chicken breasts a day. It's a very intense. It's a lot of discipline just for her to get up and do all that cooking, and and planning ahead for getting the food and the correct nutrition. If you don't have it at your disposal, you won't eat it. You'll eat some junk food. That's what happens to people. They don't have the food at their disposal, so what happens, they end up eating the wrong food. And she has been a tremendous force in just supplying me with the right things at the right time. And whenever I travel, I get her to travel with me, and I always make sure that I eat correctly throughout the year. I don't just eat 12 weeks up to a show right. And a lot of people felt that I was going to be fat this year. They felt like, well, he's going to be smooth. He's not going to be ripped, as the terminology is in bodybuilding. But, you know, they don't realize that I diet all year round, and the only thing that I hold in the off season is fluid. And with her tremendous nutrition knowledge and my tremendous training knowledge combined, and we're a force that can be beat right now. I feel that we're going to be really formidable in the next couple of months and upcoming years. And she travels with me. We've got 5 tours coming up. We've got one to England, Belgium, Germany. We're going to Australia, we're going to Japan, and we're going to South Africa. And we're really looking forward to it. She's going to travel with me every little bit of the way. She's going to help me, and I'm going to help her, and I love her, and I'm happy.
Well, I really admire both of you, and I think you're a beautiful person inside and out, Gary, and thanks for taking all this time. I appreciate it.
A surprise at prejudging was old Iron Horse, Robbie Robinson, who was always a favorite and seems to improve with age.
Okay. Robbie, you've been in the sport a long time. How many years have you been competing?
I've been competing for like about 7 years overall, from 75 to like about 80 or 85, 86, for 7 years.
How do you stay motivated? You know, that's a long time. Do you ever get burnt out and just want to quit?
I had like a 2 years, I guess, split in this, where I was like 2.5 years. I spent those 2.5 years in Europe. So I can say that during that time period, I kind of like relaxed a little bit more. Came back last year, came place 7th, and I was pretty happy with the place. And then I said, well, if I can do 7th this time, maybe I can do better next time. And I just keep training hard.
Robbie, I understand you're a war veteran, and that's how you got into training. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
I think after I came back from Vietnam, I was really motivated to like train, because a lot of the guys like got out there with the psychiatrists, and they use that as a therapy. And so I used bodybuilding as my therapy. It kept me motivated and stimulated to train as hard as possible, and win all the shows as much as I possibly could.
Being in the sport for so long, do you think that helps your chances of winning, or do you think it hurts you? Do you think they're looking for new faces, or do you think they kind of are partial to the oldies but goodies?
No, I think I'm probably one of the old veterans that's like really been in there and been able to stay, you know, and come back and compete and place or win. And I still think they're looking for the old guys to come back, because that's really where the real quality muscle is. The younger guys are like up and coming, or they're winning, or they're placing or winning the championships, but really what makes the sport are the older guys.
How do you think your shape today compared to you in the past? Do you think it's the best you've ever been?
Best I've ever been. You know, I can just say that my sweetheart, Sandy Bailey, she's like, Sandy, come over here. She's a person that like really got me back into bodybuilding, and helping me pull through the diet and the training. And I think I kept telling her it's the best condition I've ever been in. And I have to like say she's that part of it. She's the person that...
And does she train also?
Yes. She has a show coming up like in July. And I'll be in her favor when she starts doing her thing.
Well, it was really nice meeting you, and you look great today, and thanks for taking this time out.
Thank you very much.
Naturally, as he is known, there was Mike Ashley, the American winner at the 86 Universe.
Mike, there's been a lot of talk today about you being a natural bodybuilder. Does that mean, you know, I don't hear that about anybody else. Do you think you're one of the few that were on stage today that are natural?
Yes, I do think that. I'm one of the few, and I came into sport, and I like it, and it was just a hobby. You know, I wanted to pursue my degree in electronics, and I started improving in bodybuilding. I switched my major to nutrition so it could help my bodybuilding, and I just don't want to take the route of trying steroids. So I says, okay, I'll go as far as I can without using it. And so far, I've been doing very well, and I continue to stay that way.
Yeah, you look great today. How do you feel you did? I know you've definitely got to be in the top 5, but how do you think you placed in there?
Well, I'm a newcomer, and I haven't made a decision to myself to say, well, I placed a certain, you know, first, second, third, or whatever. I know I'm in the top percentage, and I hope, you know, victory will be mine. Yeah.
I was talking to Wayne DeMillia, and he was telling me that you just live bodybuilding, so I can really believe that you don't take the steroids, that you get a certain amount of sleep a night, you train a certain way. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Well, it's not a matter of just live bodybuilding. I have a well-rounded life. You know, I do other things other than just bodybuilding. But what I'm concerned with when I pursue bodybuilding, if you're going to do it, might as well you do it right or don't do it at all. That means I watch my diet all year round. I'm very consistent with my eating habits. Now, to me, that's not a burden. It just means that when I have to get in shape for a competition, I don't have to make a lot of sacrifices. Like I was weighing 206 when I started my diet, and today I'm about 198. Now, I didn't have to struggle to get in shape for that. When I have a guest appearance, I don't have to starve myself to be in shape for the appearance. So to me, it's not really a matter of it's all bodybuilding, but it's the fact that I'm pursuing the sport, might as well I do it the right way, and that's the bottom line.
Well, I really respect and admire you. That's a great quality, and I hope you do well today. Thank you.
Then from across the Hudson,
Okay.
returning after his injury, John Hnatyshack.
All right. John, I saw you in the 84 Nationals a couple of years ago, but I haven't seen you since. Today you look like you're in great shape, the best shape you've ever been in. You know, why the layoff, and how did you do it? How did you get back in shape?
The layoff was caused by a car accident in December of '85 when I was training to turn pro the first time at this particular contest. And I wound up in the hospital for about 10 days with 2 herniated discs in my spine. So needless to say, 10 months of inactivity, countless doctors, they wanted to operate, and I just refused to have any kind of surgery. And just 10 months of total inactivity. So that's what kept me out of competition for that period of time. And then I had to turn pro. I just wanted to give it one more shot. So this was it. I don't know how well I did or how well I didn't do, but I did my best.
How does bodybuilding fit in with being a police officer?
Well, I'm one of the biggest guys that on the job, but that doesn't mean anything. I'm not a big guy, actually. You know, I appear large on stage, but in clothes, I don't look that big. It's good to stay in shape, you know, so just mentally and physically, the whole bit. I mean, it all works hand in hand with the police department.